Load it up here, and we are now live streaming. And I want to welcome everybody who's going to be watching this in the future or watching it now live. I'm going to introduce you to my some of my team members that are here. And what we're going to be discussing today is in regards to land and some other features that go along with land and new construction. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce you guys. Here's Elise-Ann. Go ahead.
Hi, Tyler. Elise-Ann. J Node, but you guys can call me Jay.
Makes it easy for me too. So I always get it wrong. I'm terrible with names. I just admit that right up front. So don't even worry about it. So one of the things that I really want to go over, they're going to help us today. Jay's actually going to do some translation with Creole, so that way we can reach more people, whether it be internationally or just here in the local community. One thing that I really want to throw out there is that if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, and you're watching this on Facebook, just comment, below, and I'll be more than happy to get to your question. So if I don't see it right away, just bear with me, but I will get to it. So let's go ahead and start. I'm going to let Elise-Ann kind of touch on some bases based off of your customers or whatever you had asking certain questions, and I can start the review process with you.
Well, some of the questions I always get with some client, try to get them a little bit educated. And today I'm just going to have Tyler explain to you guys as far as house zoning, Tyler, when you are building a family home or duplex.
Sure.
Can you explain a little bit about that?
So there's a couple things you got to know. First of all, right now in Southwest Florida, pricing is a big variant when it comes to a residential home versus a zoning for a duplex. Okay, because you have to buy the right land that goes with the right structure that you're going to put on it. So, for example, one of the things is that we call RS1 is going to be more for your residential single family homes. Now, those the pricing on those start around $5,500 and up. That's what they're going for. So that part is a very it's very nice to kind of get that part started, because you do have RS1 zoning that goes from $5,500 and up. And most of this, by the way, is in Lehigh Acres. Now, the reason why that is there's a good portion of Lehigh that is already developed, have tons of houses around them, and you can get deals on that upper scale. Like, so I would say anywhere between 7 to 10, maybe, for that matter, if you're in an area or neighborhood. Now, clearing's a whole nother option, but I'm going to take just a break, let you kind of translate that in, and just so that way we can reach more people.
Ok, menm jan nou so diyan nou gen deja introduce tet nou, jodi an nou pal pale de te nan Lehigh Acres. Li gen tan di ke li pale de RS1 ki se pou rezidansyel, priyan pafwa li ka nan $5,500.
Okay.
Komanseman pou komanseman. Li pale kreol do we. Si kon bagay ke li we ke bliye di, li la pe di.
There we go. So she's got it all out there. So those are out there watching. Like I said, I see several tuning in now. So like I said, I appreciate you guys. And if you have anything that, that you have any questions on or anything like that, let me know. So let me actually test something. I want to make sure, hang on a second, make sure our mic, I hope we didn't have a mic issue. We'll find out in a minute. We'll see if it feeds back or not. We should be good. Guys, I know this is our first time we're doing it from my laptop. I usually have my studio, so it's a little different for me to do a little intermediate. So I'm not sure if it's catching it or not. You got yours on by chance? Let's just do a quick test. I just want to make sure you people can hear me. See if you can pull yours up and see if you get a sure. Mike issue. Find out in a minute. See if it's back. We should be good. Guys, I know this is our first time on a laptop. Okay, so yeah, because I don't know if I just flipped the switch, so make sure that stays there. Anyways, we're trying to fix Airs Live just so we can make sure we have everything there. I don't want to go mute, so I'm going to go back into the regular. Okay, I see the light moving now. I'm going to go back into this now that we kind of got that out of the way. Sorry for the technical issue. So anyways, going back to the land and so forth. Now, duplex land, let me talk about this, which is zoned RM2. That land is actually what it happens is those lands are actually going anywhere between 15 to 20, maybe to 25,000, somewhere around there, depending on the area. Okay. So if that answers your question in regards to what some of your clients were asking, is like basically what are the difference between the land and then what are some of the price points on those zonings of the land? Did that kind of answer what you were asking?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. And did you want to tell that part about the duplex?
Ok, sa so di an pale de duplex nan chak paske rezidansyel nan ansam avek duplex nan yo chak gen zoning pa yo. So pou duplex nan zoning ni an se RM2. So paske lo fin achete an, si yon rezidans kay tako ou konen ke duplex an, ki sa duplex an se 2 kay, yo konsidere kom 2 kay. Ou pa achete te an nan zoning kote ke ou fait ou gal fon single family mais faut qu'on achete a faut qu'on connaît que côté ou acheter terre que ou ka bâti un duplex là.
Good. All right. So with that being said, what are some of the other questions that some of your customers have come up with in regards to going from land to new construction and that kind of thing?
They always ask as far as, the starting of a new construction, the process, how long does it take?
Okay.
As far as, starting the building, the permit, do you have any idea?
So this is actually a really good question. So let me explain this because I think everybody wants the best deal, right? So everybody wants to get the best price, the best deal, whatever the case may be. Okay. So one thing that I want to point out is this. If you can go with, like, for example, I do a lot of builds with a general contractor. So what that means is I can get an investor who wants to build, whether it's an investor or even a home builder for that matter, who somebody who just wants to build their house and move in. I can get those for cash deals. We can get below what we call the retail market value. And that's how you get your best deal, is with the cash. Now, what does that mean too? You could technically go get hard money lenders and get your money. If you don't know what that is, that'll be a whole different segment we'll cover. And I'll probably have something go into that with hard money. But at the same time, it just means a way for you to be able to get cash and be able to do what you need to do with it, whether it be build your house or whether it be build an investment property. Okay. So that's one thing that you do as far as dealing with a private builder, which is like what I do and deal with investments, because you can get below the retail price. Now, on the other hand, before I go into the next side, I should say, of just somebody who just wants to build a house, be done, don't want to be cash, want to use, bank and all that. I'm going to explain that to you after this.
Is it one more question? I think
Go
we'll
ahead.
let.
Go ahead.
Okay. Is it a little bit cheaper to build? Let's say you're using an investor. They already have a lot already, building a duplex, so single family home. Is it a little cheaper with them having the lot, or is it which way is easier?
So if you're going to be the one going out, so let me give an example. There's a home builder out there. What they do is they'll say, "Hey, we'll purchase a lot, and then we'll tag it into the loan."
Okay.
But because any home builder that's out there, and I call these big box builders, I'm not going to name any, but they're out there. You see them, and those big box builders, what they do is they tack in the cost of the land plus a percent sometimes of what that land costs, so they can make $1 beyond the actual cost. So with that being said, it's cheaper for you if you're going to go with a loan to perm, which is basically loan to the end loan segment of this, meaning you're going to build with a franchise builder, what I call them, then it's cheaper for you to have the land to be built. Now, if you can't do that, you can't buy it cash, because you got to buy land cash. That's the best and only way. If you can't do that, then you want to go with basically going with the factor of building that in and paying their percent that's a little bit higher than the actual land. Did that answer it?
Yeah, pretty much. And so any question that I have. So I'll let Jay translate and then let me brief for a little bit. I'm pretty sure I'll find a couple more.
Yeah, go for it.
Ok, sa li so pale ke pou konstruksyon, li pale, so pale un peu de hard money lender et puis so pale ansama avek private lender. De deux kategori sa yo vreman diferan. Men sa ma fe parce mpa vle kouri pale et puis kouri di definisyon. Sa vle pou nou fe on lot fwa nou pral vreman entre pou nou pale de tout les deux parce que mpa vle kouri di ok private lender a ki sa liye et puis money lender a ki sa liye et puis pou nou pa vreman kompon parce que ba sa yo pou nou fe li fok nou vreman chita pou nou ka kompon.
There you go. And I think that's going to be the key. So let me just finish the other half of that, which is when you deal with the franchise builder, and these are kind of the bigger builders that have already been established, this, that, and the other. When you're dealing with them, you're paying for every little upgrade a lot of the times, right?
Yeah,
so
sure.
how many times you walked in and they say, well, this is an option, and this option equals, and I'll be honest. So, I mean, it's probably maybe cost you $2 to $3, a square or something like that for somebody to tile a whole floor, and they may be charging you $4. I mean, it's just an example of how they tack on their cost. So people just do it because when the house is being built, it's the easiest way just to get it done and out the way. So you're going to pay a little bit of a premium to get it done. But and here's the thing: sometimes not every builder is created equal. And what I mean by that is that they give you choices of this tile, this tile, and this tile, as opposed to a private builder give you a choice of all the tile that's existing out in any warehouse you go to. You get to choose it, and they just go buy in bulk. If they say they come back and say, hey, look, we can't get that tile because we can't get enough of it, that's a different story. So you're going to pay a premium for a franchise builder sometimes. Now, sometimes that could be a different effect without the upgrades, because sometimes a franchise builder, what I call the franchise builder, the bigger box, they can actually get their costs down a little bit cheaper on some of the wood because they're buying in such bulk.
Yeah, it's like the more you buy, the cheaper it is.
Right, exactly. So with that being said, you got to watch for those things too. You know, those are the things you got to really look at. So right now, I mean, if you're really, really torn, the first thing I'm going to tell you is this is a lot of information that we're giving out, and you really need to start with just buying the land. If I had any suggestion to anybody, is buy the land. They don't make it anymore. So especially right now, as cheap as it is in Southwest Florida and Lehigh, if you can find a land that's 55 and up, depending on where you want to be, what your goal is, whether you want to be away from everybody, whether you want to be, a little bit more closer to where stuff is already established. These are things you got to think about, but start with the land. And that's the biggest advice I can give.
Let me ask you a question. It's the market right now to purchase the land, right? And Lehigh,
So there's tons of land listings out there right now. Okay. You can find it, but I will tell you this: 2 years ago, I was selling land in Lehigh at $2,500 to $3,500. You will not find no land for 35 or below. You won't do it. Now you're talking, you might still find something around 4,000, maybe 45, somewhere around there.
It's probably all the way in Lehigh.
Yeah, it's all the way in the back end. So and that's another thing. You got to watch out for power lines. Like I go out and look and see how much power lines is on there. I look at various things to make sure it's not swampland. And I'm just doing this by the eye. It's not by actual testing. Now you have that right to do your testing, but every to each its own. Not every land is going to have surveys either. So a lot of people ask, oh, what about surveys? Especially if they don't know this area. There's no surveys. There's a government plat map, and that's what we go by. You can pretty much get an idea of where your land begins and where it ends just by pulling up Google Map and just following along. It's not the gospel. It doesn't mean that that's the way it is, but it's an idea. That's the concept.
Well, I'll let Jay explain a little bit in Creole.
Ok, tout sa mbral di pou Haïtien yo, like, ok, si ou bezon achete te, on konnen ke tout Haïtien nou yo. Yon reme plante jade, pa vre? li a c'est un bon côté que pour nous acheter terre et puis pour nous planter parce que tel li a yo le plus souvent et là ici au plus rété yo acheter terre qui ça fait yo bâti là-dedans yo et puis après ça des canons qui ça encore yo gain place pour yo faire jardin nous so on connaît que nous aimer faire jardin nous si nous besoin pile information de bagaille dans ligne yo pas de problème juste contacter n'importe dans nos trois parce que nous tous les trois nous travaillons même dans même groupe so si nous avons question tout nous t'être écrit en bas live là et puis pour nous aider nous pour nous répondre.
Tyler, if you have anything else to say, if not, it was great bringing you on board to explain to our community. Anybody out there who had any questions, not just the Haitian community, but in general, if you have any questions about lot in Lehigh, zoning, and I hope this session helped, and there will be more to come for more information. Thank you, Tyler.
Yeah.
Get on.
So one thing I want to say is now that you guys got the information, whoever's listening, whoever's watching, you got the information. This is a big deal. Just so you know, one other thing is that if you don't have the money to start with land, I actually know several banking institutions that will give loans on land. So if you don't have the money, cash, for the whole thing, I do have lending institutions that will help with that. Everybody will be different, so we'll have to fall in. Now, other thing I want to say is that we're all. I got Elysian, Jay joined a team with me for EXP. I'm very excited about them being on the team. They're going to really help everybody out there just as much as I do. They work just as hard as I do, and I really appreciate for all their input and all their time that they put into this segment here and many more to come. So with that being said, if you guys have any questions, this is going to actually be shared on their Facebook and probably some other groups and so forth. So please reach out to them. I'm here to support them 110% in any way need possible. So it's been a pleasure.
Let me translate that.
Yeah.
Ça Tyler so dit comme ça que si nous pas gen corps pour nous acheter en terre, gen possibilité là côté yo nous ka chercher une façon que yo prêter nous l'argent pour nous acheter terre. On est que grand pile fois pile nous même pas gen corps pour nous acheter terre mais qui ça nous pas besoin ba tête nous pile problème, n'a chercher façon côté que nous ka joindre côté que nous pour prêter l'argent et pour acheter terre.
So there you go.
That was a very good insight because there's a lot of client out there as far as in our community who have, I want to buy, but because I have no money. So thank you for bringing that up.
Yep, no, absolutely. And thank you guys for listening in, everybody. Please reach out to us. We'll be here. Thank you very much.